Welcome to BizJet TV, and today we're going to be talking about the Trump tariffs and how this is going to affect and is affecting the private jet market. In this episode, we'll talk about why $18 million in new import fees could land on a single global 7500 delivery. We'll talk about the end of tariff-free jets. A global sector suddenly faced national borders again. Why this isn't just political noise, it's reshaping your aircraft deal or your next aircraft deal. What these tariffs actually are. Now, we know Trump's created all this noise. It's freaked out everybody. The market's gone up and down. He's decided to put a 90-day stop on this thing, but we have been talking about 25% import duty on steel and aluminium. This obviously is going to skyrocket production costs. Finished aircraft from abroad now face 10 to 25% import tariffs. Of course, a lot of these airplanes, have parts built in different parts of the world. So how is this going to affect the overall price? These are the kind of things that are on the table right now. But, there's a 90-day standby now, apart from China, on these tariffs. And now countries are queuing up to sit down with the US government to discuss and get a deal. And I think a deal will get done. Every country has a different situation, but I think overall we're going to come out on top here. Of course, the jets that are affected the most are the heavy jets because there's more metal in these jets. And so obviously with this 25% tariff on aluminium and metals, it's going to, inflate the price of the heavy jets, hence the $18 million extra on a global. This is just what they're talking about right now. This actually hasn't happened yet. Buyers are hesitating. Some are rushing to get deals closed. Prices are kind of up and down and kind of sitting there. The charter rates, of course, could increase, but there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. But here's why I think in the end, everybody's going to win. I don't know if you're familiar with Ludwig von Mises. He's an Austrian economist, and he talks about tariffs distort markets and crush efficiency. So he is basically for a tariff-free world. I think this is the object of the game here, is to eliminate tariffs. So that if I make a product in England and I ship it to America, there's going to be no tax, import tax on it, and vice versa. It will allow more business to flow. It will allow airplanes to have the best design for the wings, for the landing gear. It's just like, for example, if you're a tailor and you build really good suits and your customer needs a pair of shoes, you're going to send him to the best shoemaker. But what this deal could end up happening is the tailor is now having to make shoes for his customer. We don't want to go down that road. I don't think that's the object of the game. I think America has been treated unfairly over the last few years, and I think trade in general has not been fair. It's been ruled by the political class, and it hasn't favored technology, it hasn't favored companies, it hasn't favored entrepreneurship. So I think what we really, really need, and this is where Austrian economics come in, let's have a world with no tariffs. Let's eliminate the tariffs. Let's let business flow. Let me, if I'm going to design a new airplane, I'm going to get the landing gear built in England. I'm going to get the wings built in Italy, the avionics made in America. And I'm going to get the best of the best. I'm going to get the best companies involved to make the different parts for the airplane, and then put this really, really good product at a good price on the market. I mean, they're talking about iPhones increasing in price if they manufacture them in America. Labor costs in China $5 an hour. In America, they're $35 an hour. This would inflate the price of an iPhone by 45%. On aircraft, we're talking, $18 million extra on top of a $75 million airplane. It's going to create problems, which is why I don't think it's going to happen. I think at the end of the day, everyone's going to sit at the table. Everybody's going to get a good deal that's going to work for him or her. Give it a few weeks, maybe a few months, and this whole thing will settle. And it will be a positive thing for the private jet industry, because any tariffs or anything bureaucratic that was there, or tariff-wise or tax-wise, that was already in place, is going to be removed, and we're going to see prices go to where they need to be, and we're going to see better aircraft made and produced. And overall, those of you that are thinking of buying a private jet, you're going to get a better deal. And that's my take on this, but tell me what you think. Let's get the conversation going below. And also check out my new podcast, which I've launched. My new book is coming out, Be Aware But Don't Care. My box arrived today, Be Aware But Don't Care. Going to be launched on the 25th of April. If you click on the link below, you can already pre-order, and also watch the trailer at the end of this for the podcast. I'm interviewing interesting people every week about business, about their life, about how they're living their life outside the queue. Nothing much to do with aviation, but it's to do with life in general. I'm sure it'll be of interest to you. And that's all from Fabrizio Poli here on BizJet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.